All right, we got Week 14, Broncos versus Chargers. So the Chargers are favored by 2.5 points, and let me tell you what, this is a hard one to really take. I think the point spread is so close because it is a conference rivalry, but not to mention both teams, in my opinion, aren't particularly strong. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Denver has been the more consistent team. I think the Chargers are a much more talented team, but they tend to underwhelm you with their performance. And this last week was no different with the Chargers, putting up all of 6 points. Granted, conditions were bad, I get that, but they've got such a talented team. I just don't know how they can continuously put up so few points. Um, so I realize I have not committed to who I'm going to be taking yet. Um, but you know what? I'm just looking at the numbers and seeing how this is going. I think I'm going to have to take Denver. They are not a really good team, but they rush the ball pretty good, so they can control the ball. They pass the ball enough to make them dangerous. Russell Wilson is not the quarterback that he used to be, but he's also not the quarterback it was last year, to where he's throwing pick after pick after pick and getting hit for interceptions. He's protecting the ball. He's making the passes, the short passes when he has to. And as someone once pointed out just a couple weeks ago in one of the comments here, is he's playing like uh, they did when they had Peyton Manning when they won the Super Bowl. And I can see some of the similarities there, so I can go with that. By the numbers, the Chargers are favored to win 65% of those, which comes out to about a 4 point spread. And I realize then when I come down here to the Bayesian, it's still going to tell me go this way. The thing that is just making me want to go with the Broncos is the fact that uh, they've been playing better, and this 70 points doesn't really reflect very well on them. And the model has a hard time adjusting to some of those big numbers. And I'm not sure that Denver's going to win, but at the same time, I think it's probably going to be a closer game right around this 23 to 24 mark. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Again, and when you look at this, the odds makers have it close too. Let's take a look at some of the performance numbers here. So when I come on over here, the model is showing that the Chargers should be getting more in terms of the passing yards. But when you look at the rest of it, you see Denver has a solid running game. They're not going to put up a whole lot of passing yards, but they do have the propensity to do that on occasion. I think both of these teams have gotten a lot of garbage yards, so it's really hard to assess. But Justin Herbert is clearly the better quarterback at this moment. And then when I come down here, you just see that slight increase, improvement in terms of the total number of plays. And it's not a lot, but it's one of those things that can just kind of make you go, if they're running the ball and they're getting the numbers of plays, they can actually really force a what I think is a Chargers team that's probably given up. There's some downsides here. The Chargers are going to put some sacks up on Denver, and if that can certainly put Russell Wilson in a situation where he's throwing some picks, although it's looking like he's really controlling those well this year. But throwing picks, getting fumbles. But the big thing is they're not very explosive, and that's what you really see up here from the Chargers. They're more explosive, but they've been so inconsistent. They can either explode or they can just do absolutely nothing whatsoever. So again, this is one where I'm not so much disavowing the model. I think this is one of the cases to where the data that underlies some of the results is there, and that's what we're looking at here to suggest, again, very much like what the point spread is it should be a close game, and the conference rivalries are fun, so it really amps up some of that intensity. So anyhow, if you like what you just listened to, click like and subscribe. And if you got a question, comment, drop me a note.